It was a rainy afternoon, and I found myself sitting alone in a small cafe tucked away in a quiet corner of my city. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee filled the air, mixing with the soft sound of raindrops tapping against the window. As I gazed outside, watching the world move by, I couldn't help but reflect on the journey that had brought me to this moment. Just a year ago, I was in a completely different place, lost, trapped in a cycle of despair and self-doubt. It was a struggle that few could see, yet it loomed large in my life. Today, I want to share that journey with you, a journey of heartbreak, resilience, and ultimately, healing. It all began with what I thought was a temporary setback. After graduating from college, I was filled with dreams and ambitions. I landed my first job at a prestigious firm, and the world felt like it was at my fingertips. But, as time passed, the excitement faded into a daily grind. I found myself overwhelmed with the pressure to perform, and the expectations began to weigh heavily on my shoulders. Slowly but surely, I started to retreat into myself. The vibrant person I once was seemed to fade into the background. Friends would call, inviting me out, but I would decline, citing work or fatigue. I convinced myself that isolation was easier than facing the world. But isolation only deepened my sense of despair. I remember one evening, sitting on my bedroom floor, surrounded by a sea of discarded takeout containers and clothes, feeling utterly defeated. I had lost my passion for life and felt like I was living in a fog. Every day became a battle to get out of bed, and I often found myself crying for no reason at all. It was during one of these low points that I received a call from my sister. She could sense something was off. After a long conversation, I broke down and admitted how I felt. "I'm drowning," I whispered, my voice cracking. Her response was simple yet profound: "You don't have to do this alone." With her encouragement, I decided to seek help. I found a therapist who specialized in anxiety and depression. In our first session, I sat nervously in the small office, surrounded by calming colors and soft lighting. I felt exposed, but I also felt a flicker of hope. For the first time in a long while, I was speaking my truth. Therapy became a safe space for me. I learned to articulate my feelings and confront the underlying issues that had contributed to my emotional state. It was challenging, peeling back the layers of my pain, but with each session, I felt a weight lift. I discovered coping mechanisms, like journaling and mindfulness, which helped me to stay grounded. One of the most impactful moments came during a session when my therapist asked me, "What would you tell your younger self?" I paused, reflecting on the dreams and ambitions of my younger self, full of life and hope. I realized that I had lost sight of those dreams, but it was not too late to rediscover them. Inspired by this revelation, I began to set small, achievable goals for myself. I started with something simple, taking a daily walk in the park. Those walks became a form of therapy in themselves. I soaked in the beauty of nature, the sound of birds singing, and the warmth of the sun on my face. Each step was a reminder that I was alive, that there was still beauty to be found in the world. As weeks turned into months, I began to reconnect with my passions. I enrolled in an art class, something I hadn't done since childhood. Creating art became an outlet for my emotions, a way to express the things I could not put into words. I made new friends and slowly rebuilt my social life, one step at a time. While the journey was not linear, there were still days of doubt and sadness. I learned to embrace the ups and downs. I started practicing gratitude, focusing on the little things that brought me joy. I kept a journal, documenting my progress and reflecting on the lessons I learned along the way. Now, as I sit here in this cafe, I realize how far I've come. The person I am today is more resilient and aware than the person I used to be. I've learned that healing is not a destination but a journey, a continuous process of self-discovery and growth. As I sip my coffee, I look out at the rain-soaked streets and think about those dark days. I am grateful for the struggle because it taught me invaluable lessons about vulnerability, strength, and the importance of connection. So, I leave you with a question to ponder. What dreams have you set aside in your own life? And what steps can you take today to begin your own journey toward healing and rediscovery?